everyone around you seems like they have it figured out. And you're just kind of sitting there, wondering when it's your turn. And the worst part is, you don't even know why you feel that way. You're not lazy, you're not stupid. So why does it feel like that everyone got a head start that you never got? I didn't get my license until I was 18, not even my government ID. But everyone I knew in school had their license at 16 and their car. And it's not even about the license, it's what came with not having it. Like, my friends would make plans and I'd have to ask my mom to drop me off. And if she didn't, then that was it. And they could have picked me up, you know, it wasn't far, they just didn't. They would go without me and I would find out later. I would probably see it on my friend's story. And I tried not to see it like as mean, but you know, it kind of was. Like, you already feel behind everyone, and then the people closest to you can't even be bothered to come get you. You know, same thing with school. People knew what they wanted to do in their lives with like actual confidence. You know, I'm going into nursing. I got a scholarship. One of my close friends was the first or second best student in the state. It's pretty crazy. And I'm sitting there with genuinely nothing. No direction, no plan, no idea, you know. I wasn't stupid. I just had nothing to show for it. And watching people have a plan when you don't does something to you. You start wondering if they just know something you don't. It's basically like, you know, everyone got told the next step and you missed that announcement. It's basically like that. Another thing I can think of is like, I had a friend whose stuff was blowing up online. I was trying to figure out my channel, and at some point I just started copying what he was doing. He was doing Roblox videos, so I did Roblox videos. And I didn't even like the games on Roblox at the time. Like, at all. There was no good games. I could not care less. But I thought maybe if I do what he's doing, it'll work for me too. So I just kept making videos about games on Roblox I did not like because they were stupid. They're so dumb, and they're, you know, they were made for kids. That's what got a lot of views. And the whole time I knew, you know, this wasn't for me. But I kept going anyway because at least I was doing something. And obviously, it didn't work. It just slowed me down and wasted time I could have spent figuring out what I wanted to actually do. But the worst part wasn't even that I failed. The worst part was watching him grow a lot while I was just trying to copy him. Like, it was insane. And it's not that I'm jealous. It was that I was doing YouTube for like 6 years, right? And his first like 3 months, he just had it going. And it was like, wow. It's like, that's crazy. Lucky guy. And I was so miserable that even in games, I was bad, and I'd count that as like something. It's like really dumb to bring that up, but when you're already in like that headspace where everything feels like you're falling short on your brain, you just get like any reason to hate on yourself. Like, I sucked at FPS games, and that was all I did. It's like, what? So how can I suck at something I only do? And you know when like people ask you, you know, what are you gonna do after school? I went to dinner with my girlfriend's grandparents, right? And at some point, they asked me, you know, what do you want to do with your life after high school? You know, are you going to go to college? This, whatever. I didn't have a clean answer. I think I said something along the lines, you know, I'm still figuring it out, or, you know, I'm thinking something like that. And man, they gave me that look. You know, it wasn't like mean, a little bit, but it was like unsure that, you know, I was the right person for my girlfriend. And wow, that was horrible. Like, I don't remember what I said exactly, but they were judging me hard. And so when you're feeling behind, it's not like in one place, it's everywhere. It bleeds into everything. You're scrolling Instagram and you see people that you know, and they're like holding their college banners with like their names on it, or like the acceptance letters, and it's like blank college, here I come, and their family's celebrating it, and it's a whole, you know, big deal. And then someone just got like a new car, someone just moved into their own place, and your brain is just like quietly adding that to the list. And then you close Instagram, go back to doing whatever you were doing, and you're just sitting there like, damn, like this kind of sucks. And you can't really talk about it with people, because how do you explain that to someone without sounding jealous? This whole video just sounds like me being jealous. You can't just say that it bothers you to that person that, you know, has stuff going for them. You can't say, you know, I feel like everyone has something figured out and I don't, because then you look, you know, insecure, tiny, you look dumb. So you just keep it in, and it sits there just kind of rotting. That whole idea. Your brain just compares. You know, I've said this in a video once, where it's just all your brain wants to do with people, unless you get out of that mindset on your own. But most of the times, you know, you're set set to default by just watching what other people do and comparing that to your life. But the problem is that we have way more ways to see people's lives. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, even YouTube. So you are just constantly surrounded by people online, and you're, naturally just comparing yourself to them. And so you build this timeline in your head without even realizing it. At 16, you should have your license. At 17, you should have a part-time job, and then your car. At 18, you should have a plan. And then when you're 20 or 22, you should have something to show for it. And it's like a lot of those things are just not gonna happen as planned. Like some people don't even get their first car till they're 20. And you're just going down this list and checking things off that you don't have done. And every time that you come up short, it just confirms what you already expected. That you're behind, that everyone else is moving on, and you're still standing there doing nothing with your horrible, miserable life. But I would like to say that the timeline you're making in your head is not real. No one really made it for you. You just watched the people around you, and your brain made up rules from it. He got his blank at whatever age, so should I. She got a whatever it is at something, so I'm also behind. And so you comparing yourself to those people is basically saying, oh yeah, I'm behind. But what is behind? You looking at what people have that either grew up, with the upper hand, or people that genuinely worked for what they have. And that's the actual reason why you feel behind. Not because you are behind, but because you're measuring yourself against people that aren't you. You're looking at other people's lives and you see these specific things and not the full picture or the gap at all. You see your friend doing well. Well, what did he do to do well? That could be hard work, timing, luck. It's stuff that you don't know about. And sometimes, you see people who know exactly what they want to do, but you don't see the other half of them that are just saying something that sounds good because, they're kind of worried too. And I see those people months later and I ask them, are you still wanting to do that? And they're like, no. Not at all. No, not anymore. And the copying thing is its own problem, because when you're behind and see someone winning, you don't stop to think why their thing works. You just think, I need to do that. So you do their thing, and it doesn't work because it was never your thing. You wasted time, and you're still behind. And you feel worse than before because at least you didn't fail. And so your brain is just gonna go, man, I just can't do this. I just suck at this. I'm horrible. They just have it so much better and easier than me. And so that emotion that you're feeling, I'm just gonna assume, hundreds of thousands of teenagers feel the exact same way. Your friend who knew what they wanted to do at 17 probably feels behind in something else, but nobody will say any of it because they're embarrassed to admit it. You don't want to be that person who says out loud that they feel behind. So there are multiple people walking around in school or I don't know, at your job that feels behind in some way. And I can't genuinely tell you to stop comparing yourself to other people. Your brain just does it on its own. Unless you get out of that habit, which is pretty hard to do, you can't just stop. Even with me, on YouTube analytics, I can see what my fans are watching or what channels they like. And all the channels that are similar to me, I'm at the bottom. Granted, it's still niche communities. There's no million subscriber amounts, but I will still see my sub count and look at theirs. I will see their view counts and look at mine, and I'll be like, wow. It's either I suck or I hate those people. But why? So what I've been trying to do lately, I've been trying to catch that feeling. Try noticing when that happens. I'm looking at this person's life. I'm looking at their, their YouTube channel, whatever. It could be anything. But even if I'm on Instagram and I see a 17-year-old with a Lamborghini, I don't really like Lamborghinis. But as an example, and if that's a goal I want to achieve, I'm gonna think about how grateful I am for what I have, and how am I going to work myself to get to that point, instead of just thinking, and they said being 20 your life's over, try being 19. Something stupid. I don't know. But realistically, it's what are you gonna do? Just keep complaining? And so what, even if I am jealous about people that are more popular than me on YouTube, it's what am I gonna do about it? And for the history of YouTube, people will always blame luck.
The algorithm won't push my video. What's going on? It's so good.
That is a factor, but when people do see your video and it sucks, they're gonna get off of it, and then your video doesn't get pushed. And that's what was happening with those Roblox videos. I wasn't good at that, but my friend had it perfected. So try perfecting the things you already have going for you. So how am I gonna get, that amount of subscribers that this person has? I'm gonna make the videos good. I'm gonna make my intros different, make them cinematic, add shaders to my videos, edit the gameplay, make it interesting. Because I know there's people that listen, but they also watch too. So I made changes in my videos. So why don't you make those same improvements in your real life? A little bit of food for thought. I think I got my point across. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. You're probably watching me to eat your food, so if you want to see more of them, just subscribe. And if you want to further support me, there's a buy me a coffee link, and there's the support button on YouTube. And if you're interested, I made a gaming channel just called Wucha, because I want to give gaming videos another shot, because that is my strong suit. I also made a new Twitch. Every link will be in the description or on my channel page, wherever you want to get it. And yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you guys.